If you're playing with a Whaley on your team, you can usually just use 2 ults to outright win the game because the attackers always sprint as soon as they begin the round. And you pop ult, you pop 2 bombs, and you win the round off rip. And then you pee on him. Pee on him. Good shit, good. So we know that one guy is planting on site and Chamber ultimate likely is on the left side, possibly in main. That's why instead of just fighting, I flush out this glove into us so that we could fight her without peeking into the operator. Yeah, smoke on spike. Asking for a smoke on spike because we don't want to fight Chamber's ult and we end up reading that he's behind us and winning the game. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Happy and I'm an immortal high level coach. In this series, I help you improve your game sense and talk about how to get an advantage on every single fight that you take. If you're tired of being stuck in the same rank, I strongly suggest joining the premium tier of my group, which will be linked down in the description. Inside, I talk about the purpose of every single role, how to learn a new skill, and most importantly, how to play your character. So if you're someone who's serious about improving in Valorant, I suggest you join. Let's get to the video. There was a comment from a guy who said Theo cannot use his util in a solo situation, and this looks like a pretty solo situation. You flush out the enemy into a space and then you shoot him while he's running. If he stops, he dies. Once again, using the strategy of flushing the enemies out into the open and then stunning them for a free kill. I can break TP and we fight Chamber. Because Chambers like to push him in very often, I bomb where his TPs should be and then drone him. And look at that, and look at that. Oh, and if your teammates are already on site, I would say going A main is one of the best post-plant positions because you have this angle. And then you have this angle right here. Nice. And then you have this angle. And then you have this angle. And do a nice little 360 and you have this angle. And then you shoot at your enemy. It's all in there. Okay, so this one is going to be a little bit more unique actually, but first of all, casual. Don't peek into Phoenix's ult. I mean, there's really no reason to do that. But now to the unique part. Because we know exactly where the last enemy is and he's on dish, I asked my teammate not to plant the spike so that I could collect all of the orbs around the map and then have the ult for the next round maybe as well. Unfortunately, my teammate panics after my Reyna dies and then starts to plant, so I couldn't get the last 2 orbs from Arcade and Dish. But yeah, this is a strategy to keep in mind if you're really trying to maximize your win potential. But I knew, you know what? I knew he was gonna fold under pressure though. I knew he was gonna fold. I still get my orb from dying too, by the way. I'm chilling. We can hear a guy running away and they're already making contact on the other side of the map, which means that probably 100% of the time they're actually gonna rotate full sprint, which is why I can have this crazy timing. Now this play actually works best in Fracture, but it can work on other maps like Haven A main. You push up the enemy from short as soon as he runs away. I'm fighting for A main control here and I'm confident to take this orb because they don't really have any pop flashes, but they all start to attack me. We luckily have a stun in our hands instead of the dash, which is what I like to buy more on defense. On attackers, I like to buy my dash more than my stun. Give him that heal, boy. Even stole some of the mix's heal in this smoke. 1 HP mix. I'm so glad I bought the stun instead of the dash the first round. I can hear my enemy drop from dish, and this is, I think, the perfect time to ult because I can just dash to the right side and isolate the guy main who's not ulted. And then we actually jiggle and see him on side, so I can use my other stun to get 2 free kills. So my Sova dies in long. I tried to support him with a molly and a flash, but because he died, I don't really want to fight there. So I tried to break this timing by going behind the smoke, and enemies might not expect me. But mainly this is just a spraying. Very good spray. If anyone likes to play Marshall or in their force rounds after winning the pistol round, I recommend doing this on Haven. I've gotten a kill 2 out of 2 times whenever I'm holding this angle against their Vandals. We're not really holding mid, so that's why I'm holding an off angle in case Cypher decides to go A. Do I ult in this planting A? After asking myself if I should ult in case he goes to the B side, he starts planting A, and because I can see my teammate pushing in, I just let him get the kill. I don't do anything stupid. Always give your teammates the kills when they have unexpected flank timings. So it's C and it's nothing special. I just go for the ult and then go for the flash to try and do as much damage as possible before actually reviving myself. I get one and then we see that one guy's main, one guy's on site. I have smoke, I have smoke. I call out that I have a smoke so that I could smoke off the spike and we could defuse, but apparently Sova killed the guy who's long instead of the guy who's side, so I end up throwing a molly and then I was gonna flash right after that. But the bro just burned. As you can see, last time my enemies see me is in spawn. That's why I decide to reposition by going into garage. Always reposition if you can. After getting one, I realized that if I just go around and she follows me, she's gonna die eventually and I'm gonna get my 1v1. I'm not afraid to fight here, even though this club is behind me, because I'm gonna have to fight this guy eventually.
One enemy remains.
Nice shot,
And we actually got commended by 4 people after getting this clutch, which usually never happens. Bam! Maybe because my jet already pushed CT, I figured that it's unlikely that they're gonna expect another one behind a weird corner. That's why I get this veto from behind. And now listen to my steps. Didn't expect that, did you? I like that little movement fake. Faked out with my steps that I'm going back and then unexpectedly coming back through with a flash. Okay, do you have a CS? Drop on, okay, I'm seizing. Break wall, break wall. After I figured out that FaZe doesn't have a seize, I just have to send it alone. Please hit. It hits! It hits! It hits! It hits!
One behind.
One enemy remaining.
It hits! I was like, okay, I have to summon all of the ancestors, all of the hours I've played with Phoenix. Here's me soul reading the Reyna from what we've seen on attackers. Reyna is definitely coming dish, like from her playstyle.
Steam pick, Amen.
What did I just say though? Here's us retaking with a smoke main and my ultimate. Main one. One ult. And smokes, of course. Smokes is super important. If I don't have smokes there, we're cooked. One ult. And you know what, guys? On Fracture, you can do this with every single ult, basically. Breach ult, Fade ult, Brimstone ult, Mix ult. Most of the ultimates in this game can actually give you a similar effect when retaking a site, but the most important piece is the smoke off a main, so that those guys cannot help them. The smoke? Here's me using my teammate's utility like a pro player. Hey.
Yeah, this on the left, close. Side and this, side this.
I ult.
Nice guys, nice.
Okay. And then they cannot get to the spike and we lose. I get plus 14, they take away 24. I need to have 63.2% win rate just to stay in my rank. Thank you everyone for watching. Comment down your favorite clip and I'm gonna respond to every single comment. Also, if you're serious about improving in Valorant, you wanna get even better game sense, join the premium tier of my group, link in the description. See you guys tomorrow.